Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 64 of my Agrarian Skies Hardcore Quest Let's Play. This game pack by Jadedcat is available on the Feed the Beast launcher. I want to start off by saying, 64 episodes, still going strong. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for making this possible for me. Alright, so, where were we? Last time, I was working on setting up some titanium production, and I got a couple of tips on that. One of which I was really happy to implement because it was very useful. Instead of outputting limestone, I'm now outputting planning chalk, which is made with 2 limestone and 1 bone meal, but gives almost 3 times as much quick lime as limestone. So you're getting about a 33% increase in output, or no, about a 50% increase in output, more or less. Also, if you don't feel like using up all of your bone meal, apparently you can use, I believe it's smooth limestone. So if you cook it once first, then you'll get more out of it. Where is it? Hang on, I should be able to see. There it is. Whoops, that didn't work out. Limestone gives 900 millibuckets, whereas smooth limestone gives 1,000 millibuckets. So you get a 10% increase, or a 1/9 increase by cooking it first to make it smooth. Thought I saw another one pop up. Anyway, yeah, smooth limestone is just limestone in a furnace. Still have my sieve over here going strong, making me more limestone. I'm also, well, I'm filtering out most of the junk, like literally all of these ores that are popping out of it, I'm not keeping. The only things that I am keeping are redstone, glowstone, certus, and limestone. So let me take off my chest plate, turn off my magnet mode briefly, get all this stuff out of my inventory. Got to be really careful shift clicking here because that is going into a trash can and I will lose things. Like shift clicking my bound chest plate into that would have been terrible. So, I have my block of titanium, I've made my 8 energetic infusers and 16 reactor casings, and I'm just waiting on the last of the invar to finish up for my 16 magmatic dynamos to finish that quest. Today, I'm going to do some side questing, because while my dirt is flowing in pretty quickly, I'm only about halfway there, and I honestly am kind of sick of building more systems that provide more dirt. Let me see, do I have a chestnut backlog building up? No, good. So I am going to instead focus on getting some side quests done. And some of the first of those that I'd like to do are actually in the main quest lines. For example, in For the Hoarding, I'm working on the dirt, but that still leaves slimy. And there's a couple of options I have for slimy. To complete slimy, I need 761 congealed green slime, which are made with 4 green slime balls each. And I need 142 congealed blue slime. And those are made with the coagulated slime, I believe it is? No, gelatinous slime. There you go. So I need an awful lot of gelatinous slime and an awful lot of slime balls. And I don't have very many of either coming in at the moment. And I think the easiest way that I have available to me to solve that problem is going to be using MFR. So what we're going to do, I don't believe I can spawn a slime. Nope. So I'm going to need to get my hands on a slime somehow. I thought I should have had some spawning downstairs, but it seems that this spawn room is not really working out all that well at generating slimes for me. It's making all of the other drops that I need, and a ton of mob essence, but sadly not slimes, which is odd because I intentionally built it in the slime chunk down here. Not sure what that's all about. In any case, what we're going to do instead is I'm going to get my hands on a slime which will hopefully be spawning from this swampland over here. And the best way that I'm going to go about doing that is expanding this platform so that there's more grass for the slime to spawn on, because slimes spawn on grass in swampland regardless of light level at night. So, going to grab, well, I'm going to have to use some dirt, aren't I? That's okay. I'm going to go upstairs and grab some dirt out of my cyclic assemblers. Specifically, that's not enough. We'll grab just 3 of the double compressed dirt. Should be plenty, because that gives me a few stacks of dirt. And I'm going to go build myself out a platform, wait for grass to cover it up. And by the time that's done, I should have another quest done. Whoops. Where is my... Do The void is just no longer scary. Got a little bit out of range of my Reverence of the Condor ritual. Alright, so I'm going to get this platform built so that I can capture myself a slime, and I'll be back soon. Alright, have a little lit platform over here in some swampland, which should give me a nice slime spawning area. So all I need now is some safari net, which for some reason I haven't actually taught my system how to build. Let me change that. There we go. I'm using reusable safari nets because they're the ones that I need. And I am really running out of room in my crafting recipe system now. Alright, I'm going to want one safari net for this. Okay, so now it's a matter of waiting for nightfall. In the meantime, there is another quest that I can work on. Specifically, I have plenty of extra drones from my bees. So down here in bragging rights, bee domination, 10 or... that needs 100,000 drones. Okay, so I have a tenth of what I need for that. Never mind. Moving on. Let's just pretend that never happened. That'd be for the best. Thermal expansion lever. I have made most of these blocks. Anything that hadn't been counted, I remade off screen. So that leaves 3 blocks that I have not actually crafted on camera yet. Let's go get those made. First up is the sawmill, which... fairly simple recipe. Just uses an Invar axe, which I don't have the Invar for. That's okay. I just want you to make me a stack of Invar. Go for it. Made a ton of Invar spikes way back when, and they were not useful in any way, shape, or form. So, 1 Invar axe gets me 1 sawmill. Fantastic. I'm also going to need the nullifier, and I'll go over what all of these blocks do in a moment. This is a really simple recipe. Just a lava bucket, servo, Invar, and a bit of tin, which helps a lot if you actually have a lava bucket. I tore down my bucket providing system because I had hundreds of each alchemy reagent for blood magic, and I wasn't using them. Alright. Final thing. One of my favorite crafting tables, the Machinist's Workbench, which is a very simple recipe. You can use either the chest or the strongbox variant. They have the same effective material cost, I believe, because the strongbox is just a chest with 4 tin, and if you use the chest variant, it adds 4 tin to the recipe. So, I need to make myself the chest and the crafting table, which I believe I have taught my system how to make both. Fantastic. Now, let's look at what these blocks could do for me. Let me grab out some wood. We'll use some of the... you know what? Here. Where's a cool looking wood? We'll use some of the mahau, because that looks cool. So if I toss my sawmill down onto some power, right there, this works as a processing station for logs. If I put 1 log in, it will grind it up, cut it up into 6 planks instead of 4, and I believe a guaranteed sawdust. Yes, a guaranteed. And it works with just about every wood in the game. It can also be used to salvage wooden items like crafting tables, jukeboxes, which will even get your diamond back, boats, wooden tools such as that hoe there, doors. Basically, anything made of wood can be ground down into planks. And you get more planks than you put in if you use, than you would normally if you use logs in there. So let's just turn all of that into logs because I can. Why not? Now, the sawdust can be used for a couple of different things. It can be made into compressed sawdust, which can be cooked into charcoal. Alternatively, you can combine it with some slag and a slime ball or some glue to make either florbs, or if you add in a blaze powder, magmatic florbs. Or you can use the magma cream instead of a slime ball and blaze powder separately. That's clever. Florbs are basically water balloons. They are fluid orbs, and they can be a lot of fun, but you want to be careful if you're hucking around like gelid cryothium or blazing pyrotheum because they're a little bit dangerous. Alright, the nullifier is just a fancy, expensive trash can. I can dump things in there, it will be destroyed. I can tell it to... I can actually set it so that it's not enabled. And I believe if I for example, were to grab some cobble, because I'm not going to risk anything expensive, when it's not enabled, oh, no, items will still go in. I have no idea what the point of the redstone control is. I've never messed with it. So yeah, this destroys your items. You could pipe things in by setting what sides can be piped into. So if you have no other option, or you just feel like making something unique, go ahead and build the nullifier. The machinist workbench is a really cool item that allows you to store your crafting materials down here, and you can store up to 3 schematics you can switch between up there, and then craft in here just like a normal crafting bench. So, for example, I can do that, and it'll tell me, oh, I need these planks. It'll tell me if I have them or not, and it'll take items directly from here. So if I grab some of that maho, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Toss that in there, and now I can get my crafting benches directly from there. And if I decide, oh, I have too many crafting tables, I can toss them back in this sawmill. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get oak wood out of this because it can't tell what was used to make it. Yeah, but that's okay. Now, oh, hello, creeper. No. Alright, he wins. So if I were to grab a couple of schematics, I can, in fact, write to this schematic so that that's now a crafting table. And I can add this schematic, and if I were to, for example, put in a bunch of sawdust and remove that to get compressed sawdust, I can write that schematic. And now I can easily switch between them by, how do I... so this button here, if I click onto this schematic and I click set crafting grid from schematic, that will then turn into clear crafting grid. So if I go to another schematic, I click here twice, and now I have compressed sawdust. So there's your machinist workbench. It's a really fantastic block that I'm kind of sad I didn't use early on, and will likely make better use of in a future series. So that should get us to bragging rights complete. Nope. Now I need to make storage and energy. And let's see, is there anything interesting in here that I haven't crafted yet? Bunch of tanks, bunch of strong boxes, tesseract, illuminators, crescent hammer. No, I'm going to go get all of this crafted off screen. Back in a moment. Alright, there we have it. All of the storage and energy complete. Now for the miscellaneous items. Here are a number of things that I have not crafted, though all of the flux capacitors I have, and the tuberous flux capacitor is almost a joke. I believe it is a one-shot non-rechargeable potato battery made out of a potato, lead, and redstone. It's kind of cute. Clever, but not rechargeable. So, white rock wool. Actually, some of this stuff I'm going to need to show on screen, aren't I? Not any of this, because this is all just, you know, Invar tools. Maybe the battle wrench. Item ducts, fluid ducts, energy conduits you've seen. The fishing rod and the shears you've seen. Well, you might not have seen the fishing rod, but it's just a fishing rod. It's really not that exciting. Just a stick, some Invar, some string. I'm not going to be using it for anything. The rock wool and the multimeter are the only interesting ones. So once I have everything together, I'll be back to show you those. Alright, got everything mostly together. I wanted to show you what was left. Those being the Invar battle wrench, as this is kind of a cool item that everyone should know about. That's made from a crescent wrench, a gear, and some more Invar. And this gets you basically a wrench and sword in one. I can use it to, you know, do standard wrench things like shift right click that bit of power conduit, or to turn the or pick up strong boxes, turn chests. It can do everything a wrench can do. It can also smack things for 6 damage, which is about the same as an Invar sword. I'm not going to be using it because I have the flux-infused Omni Wrench. However, I believe there is a flux-infused version of the battle wrench if that is to your liking. It won't do as much damage as the flux-infused sword, but it's still pretty cool. So let me get rid of some of this extra random Invar items that I just don't need to care about, and that tuberous flux capacitor that I will never use for anything. I'll hang on to the item ducts. They might be useful. So, last couple of things. We have the rock wool and the multimeter. The rock wool is made by taking slag, which... oh, I only have rich slag. That's an issue. Hang on, let me get what I need to make some regular slag. Alright, to get your hands on slag, you're going to need to get yourself some pulverized iron or any other metal that you like, some sand, and you're going to need to take it up to your induction furnace. I'm going to temporarily shut off the outputs here. Boy, this thing is just not convenient. You put in 1 sand per 2 iron, and it smelts it very quickly into ingots, and has a chance of giving slag. I believe a 25% chance per go. Now, you can also get this by smelting the ores directly, either with rich slag or with sand. However, so I would need to tear apart like half of my ore processing system to be able to get some of the actual ores to put in. Oh, wow. Just being that close to things. Huh. Okay, well, I can get rid of that later. Magnet mode grabbed me some items through the floor because I'm just that cool. Alright, set that back to output. Now, if I take this slag down here, toss it in the redstone furnace, it will cook the slag into rock wool for me. Get rid of this iron. And I get light gray rock wool from it. I believe I need white rock wool. Yes, I do. So I'm going to wait until that finishes cooking. And while it does, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make the multimeter, which is a really useful debug tool for thermal expansion. And of course I need an electrum gear, which is 4 electrum and 1 iron. I don't know if these are used for much else than the multimeter. I guess they make the Simply Jetpack's resonant thruster as well. But in default thermal expansion, the only use of an electrum gear is a multimeter. Now, what the multimeter does, if I take it and I right-click it on an energy conduit, it will monitor for a little while, and then it'll tell me average distribution. If I take it somewhere where energy is being used, for example, right there, there's plenty going through. Alright, there should have been plenty going through there. I have no idea why there isn't. That's a little strange. In any case, this does allow you to debug the flow of items and liquids. I think a good one might be upstairs here, actually. If I take a look at this fluid duct. See, throughput 80 millibuckets per tick, amount 6,000 millibuckets in that block. Tells you more information about everything. Tells you how many conduits are in this grid. Tells you this says empty. This has molten titanium. That one's currently empty. Waiting for that magnesium to finish smelting down. I should upgrade that. The speed of these things. It's not too hard to do. That'll happen before the end of the episode. Let's get rid of this crushed ore. Yes, I'm wasting metals. I know I don't care. I have a ton of every kind of metal at this point. Except gold. Gold is a bit of an issue. But I'm getting there. I have almost enough at 25,000 ingots. Okay. So, I needed to grab that rock wool. And I need to make myself some white rock wool from it. So the shift click on the question mark, not always that great. So the fun part about rock wool is this stuff is as strong as rock, but it looks like wool. That's basically all there is to it. I can light this stuff on fire and it won't burn, it won't go away. For example, I think the best example that I could give for this is actually to come over here and grab myself a bucket full of lava, which the rock wool will happily contain for me. Where normally, if you had lava touching wool, it would set it on fire and burn itself completely gone. So it's cool stuff. Alright, I believe that completes the bragging rights for thermal expansion, which gets me a named sign, which is effectively useless, because if I put it in the world, it just turns into a sign. So I'm going to just toss that in here for the time being. I also get an epic reward bag and a single green heart canister. No extra lives rewarded for this one. It gives me up to 10 extra heart canisters. Oh, hello baby zombie. In my epic reward bag, I receive some imp skin armor. Well, that was exciting. Moving on. Let's head upstairs and deliver this quest for the end. now that I have a little bit of bragging rights complete. In the end, I'm going to select the Industrialist, titanium, dynamo, infuser, casing. Oh yeah, scorched bricks. I never actually grabbed those. And I'm going to turn off the export bus. I'm going to recollect my purple wool, which there's a better, easier way to do this. You know what? No, I won't get rid of the rock wool just yet. Get rid of the purple wool back into the system. And I need to grab some of my scorched bricks. I believe I needed 16. Yes, fantastic. So back upstairs, put the scorched bricks in, and set this to the Industrialist. There we go. Oh, and now I need to craft some reactor power tap, reactor controller, and reactor access port. Let me go make those real quick. That won't take more than a few seconds. That didn't take long at all. Got everything crafted up now, and now I get my choice of nether uranium, nether redstone, or a full heart. And that looks like it might be a proper full heart, but I'm still going to take the uranium instead because that seems like the more rare of the rewards available. Consume my heart brings me to 116 lives. My greater reward bag gives me a spiked axe. Less than thrilling. Oh, that's not the right one. Mechanical quest rewards. Why not? Hang on to things. It'll be a trophy, if nothing else. And my uranium is going to go right into the system, where it will get automatically processed. Already disappearing on me. Fantastic. So, next on the agenda, we have all of the end quests complete that I can at the moment, and there's only one more waiting on me to finish up the... Oh, for the hoarding? No, yes, the quest in for the hoarding for the dirt. I haven't spotted a slime yet, but I also haven't been particularly attentive to it, as I've been busy with, well, letting the quests run and getting ready for Memorial Day plans today. So, let me work on... In bees and trees, I need the magnets. That's not going to happen quite yet. Let's start getting epic thaumic powers, the last quest in the Eurowizard Steve. For that, I need the staff core of the Primal. And first step with any Thaumcraft type item is to research it. In Thaumaturgy, I have the magic staves researched, which allows me to make the Greatwood staff core. But I need something even better than that. So, to make the, and I know how to make the Silverwood staff core already. To unlock the research for the staff core of the Primal, I'm going to need to unlock a special wand focus, specifically the wand focus of the Primal, which I'm not sure which branch that's down. So let's start researching and see what we can learn. Oh, that is, I need to create some more, where is it? This guy. Permutatio, that's it. Portable hole. And to get the... So now I have all of the wand focuses researched, but that didn't unlock the wand focus of the Primal for me. That's a little odd. So I would imagine, since many things unlock based on scanning or creating objects, that I'm going to need to get my hands on one of these Primal charms. And that's kind of an expensive recipe, but no problem with my Greatwood wand that we created a long time ago. So I'm going to get myself one of those made up. Back in a moment. Okay, so with the wand, I mean the charm of the Primal charm, the order that you place the shards in is extremely important. You're going to need to get your hands on one of these. I'm going to make two because I think I'm going to need another one over time. And then I'm going to get my wand recharging again before we move any further. And if I scan one, have I already scanned one? No, I have not. So if I scan one, that may unlock the research. Otherwise, it might just be a case of holding this thing in my hands for a little while, because as it says when I read over the Primal charm, rumors persist that these charms have additional powers, but that is little more than hearsay. So that's going to require some extra research and examination. And yep, no wand focus unlocked yet. So let's hang on to this Primal charm for a moment and see if I can learn anything. As you can see here, whoop, it just disappeared. Occasionally the wand focus of the Primal charm will change tooltips slightly. And if you just hold onto it long enough, you'll unlock the wand focus of the Primal research. All you need to do is have it in your hand so that you're examining it the whole time. Alright folks, after hanging on to the Primal charm for between 5 and 10 minutes, this fun pop-up came into my chat log. For a moment, strange energies surround the Primal charm. They dissipate quickly, but you are left strangely inspired. And if I check my Thaumanomicon, I can now see that the wand focus Primal is there waiting for me. I need 8 more Ordo research and 8 Praecantatio, which I believe is made with Potentia and Vacuous. So that's not a problem. But the Ordo, I only have the 2 at the moment. To get more, I either need to go scan some items that will give it to me, or I can make use of this mana bean farm that I have set up. Now, it's not super safe, because you're going to be infecting yourself with random potion effects by eating these mana beans. And it's also not super efficient in that well, in my experience, you only get a aspect of research for every 4 or so beans that you eat at maximum. I mean, that's an average, of course, but munching these down, I am slowly but surely gathering up the Ordo that I need. And I do not believe that there is an instant death potion effect in this pack. I could be wrong. But as you can see, every time you eat a mana bean, you have a chance of being infected by some random potion effect or another. And blood magic adds a lot of potion effects. So be careful with it. In any case, here's our wand focus Primal. And making one of these is going to be required to continue. To make one, I need to take one of those Primal charms, some nether quartz, and a bunch of diamonds in the arcane workbench. So let me get that together, and I'm going to need to go refill my gold-banded Greatwood wand before I can continue. Now, that's actually one of the benefits of the Primal charms. They will, if they are held in your inventory, occasionally give you free aspects. Every now and then, an aspect orb will just drop near you just because you had a Primal charm on you. It's not quite as fast as a proper regenerating wand, but it is better than nothing. And at the moment, that's pretty much what I have, is nothing. So I'm going to hang on to these, just leave them in my inventory, and hope that it spits out the... Whoops. Oh no. Don't toss that into the void. Hope that it spits out the air orbs that I need. So, going to head back up here. Whoops. Grab myself some diamond and some quartz, and make this item real quick, and show you what I need to do with it. I have 12,000 diamonds. I need to find a better use for diamond. I also have 61,000 quartz. I'm going to need to start expanding my inventory storage again if I don't, you know, finish things up sometime soon here. Alright, there we go. Except, wait a second. There we go. I'm going to grab my robes so that I don't spend 25. I spend 21.7. And now I have a wand focus Primal. And as you can see, the V per cast is shifting all over the place. This is a bit of a strange one. So the wand focus Primal can have some fairly random and fairly destructive effects. As such, I'm going to take it into my quarry area where I'm not worried about accidentally blowing up the surrounding terrain. And I'm going to grab my flight potion out of my little bag there. What is it? Is it X? Is it V? How do I attach a... There, F to attach a focus. And that gets me the wand focus Primal, and again, the V cost per cast is flying all over the place. I am going to get out my potion flask. Oh, before I go any further, take off my bound chest plate, toss the focus down, scan it. Because that's a fair bit of aspects all over the place, and especially that 12 Ordo, very useful at the moment. I managed to burn through all of my Ordo by deciding I was going to research everything in the thaumaturgy tree, and a fair bit in the, well, actually everything in the alchemy tree, just to make sure I had any prerequisites necessary for the wand focus Primal. I don't think that was necessary at all, but now I can make all the different staves. So, if I right-click, left-click with this wand focus, nothing happens. If I right-click, it fires off that strange orb. And as you can see, that hits and explodes, and that left behind a nether fish because it's a cloaking one at that. And as you can see, it goes in kind of a random pattern, so it's very hard to aim this thing. Now what I need to do is I need to fire it off and then scan what comes out of it. Unfortunately, I'm now out of Ignis, so I'm going to need to find myself some nodes before I go any further. Let me get this thing recharged, and then I will be able to continue. Always easy to find lots of nodes in the nether. Just find a lava sea and fly around the top of it. And more nodes means more research points and easy access to lots of Ignis Essentia. Or Ignis V, in this case. There we go. So, like I was saying, I need to fire the wand, and then I need to... Where did it go? Oh, it went up there for some reason. I need to scan that projectile. There we go. Ow. And now that I've managed to scan that projectile, if I come back to my thaumaturgy area, the staff core of the Primal is opened up. And I'm going to need 24 Precantatio and 16 Instrumentum over what I already have to unlock that. But that's going to have to wait until next time. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you very much for joining me in this side questing episode. Let's take a look at our dirt supply. We are still at 45. Did not actually gain a quadruple compressed dirt during this episode. That's okay. I'm sure that we'll get there sometime soon, and I have a lot of side quests to tackle until that quest is complete. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you liked. If you have not, please leave a thumbs down. Tell me what I can do better. And I will see you next time.